Actually, as a former ambassador to Austria, I was looking forward to this day because the Austrian Chancellor was visiting on the same day, but he was in the first half, so before noon, and then in the afternoon, all of a sudden, I hear that Boris Johnson is there.
Were you surprised?
Yes, yes. It
And
wasn't announced.
what did you make of the visit itself?
It's wonderful. It's very courageous. We, from the very beginning and even before the war, we are a bit Anglophiles here in Ukraine because nobody in Europe supported us with weapons, with intel, with political messages as consequent and strong. We like the United Kingdom. So it was very good news, him coming.
Boris Johnson and his government have taken a lot of criticism in the UK for lack of, for example, the number of refugees that we've actually been able to accept that have actually made it to the UK has been dwarfed by the amounts that, for example, Germany and Poland and all the other neighboring countries have taken. But do you think that perhaps when it comes, if we look away from refugees, Boris Johnson and his government, viewed from the Ukrainian point of view, have actually really led the way in supporting Ukraine?
Well, we have our own priorities, and the priority number one, we need to survive. In order to survive, we need heavy weapons, we need intel, and this is what the UK has been providing us very much, very consequently, and we are immensely thankful for that. About the refugees, thank God we don't have these crowds on our railway stations anymore on the border. We have them in the eastern Ukraine, but right now it's not like a feeling that maybe this new wave is coming, but it's not on the border yet. So we don't have this, feeling of immense pressure like a couple of weeks ago. For us, the immense pressure is winning the battle for Donbas, and the UK is helping us with that.
And just to touch on that, I mean, how important was it, more than just the warm words and the wonderful pictures and the handshakes and the support, but there were concrete promises of arms and equipment, particularly anti-ship missiles, which, of course, with the port of Odessa being such a key part of this whole operation, how important were the actual promises of what's going to be delivered?
Unfortunately, I didn't see the concrete list. I heard people lauding people saying very good words about what has been offered. But of course, we need more. We need howitzers. We need fighter jets. It would be perfect, of course. But first of all, howitzers. And the anti-ship artillery, which has been provided by the UK. So we are immensely thankful for that. Plus, a huge important factor in this war is, of course, the intel that our friends are supplying us with. Because thanks to that, we are very much, in many aspects, are ahead of even Russians, doing something. We are very fast, and therefore, if you want me to criticize the UK at this particular point, I won't do that. I have only best of words and words of thankfulness.
And what about the effect of that visit for the rest of the Ukrainian people, diplomatically and also with the supplies that have been promised? That's very important. But we have seen some absolutely atrocious images from up and down the country, some devastating images. The loss of life, the loss of dignity, the loss of humanity has been absolutely devastating, which must play into the psyche of the nation, into the morale of the nation. A visit like this, what effect does it have on the Ukrainian people?
A walk like this has an enormous effect on people. This walk that they together took through Kiev, it was a very, very powerful message. We have been receiving many dignitaries visiting Ukraine in the last weeks. Nobody dared what Zelensky and Boris Johnson did yesterday, just walk through the town, give people this message of normality, give this message of courage, you know. So especially after these enormous atrocities, we only now we have realized the magnitude of genocide Putin is planning on us. We just read this, you know, article on one of the main Russian outlets titled "What We Should Do with Ukraine," and they basically say in plain terms, concentration camps, terror, gulag, just like Stalin did, just like Hitler did. And at this particular moment, take a stroll like that, speak to average Ukrainians on the street. You saw maybe this footage when a normal Ukrainian sees Boris Johnson walking up to him, and he is absolutely overwhelmed with feelings, and he says, "Thank you, Boris."
Olexander, what about the rest of the nation at the moment? What is the latest today? We heard yesterday about humanitarian corridors. There were meant to be 10, but we've been here before. We've known that humanitarian corridors often get shelled by Russian troops. Can you give us an idea of the latest in Ukraine at the moment? I know that you're in Kyiv and things are a little bit quieter in Kyiv, but do you have any idea of what's going on in the rest of the country?
Yes, of course, it's all about Donbas now. It's all about Donbas. Putin failed miserably to take a single one of 21 oblast centers, so big cities in Ukraine. He took barely Kherson in the south, but again, people disobey. Nobody wants to be to collaborate with this new so-called administration, so on and so forth. So Putin changed the tactics, and now it will be a full frontal assault against Ukraine, starting from Donbas. So the whole focus is right now on Severodonetsk, Kramatorsk, Slavyansk. So these three towns plus Mariupol, of course. Mariupol is absolutely heroic. These people, a friend of mine is there. We exchange every day SMS. I ask him, "Are you alive?" And he says yes. Sometimes sends some videos. The city is destroyed. It's really the war of attrition against Ukraine, and these people are standing there. So it's about these four towns, these four cities in Ukraine's east, and we need to A, defend them, and B, start a counteroffensive once we do that.